Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, aka your friendly neighborhood spoiler man, and this video we're breaking down some brand new info on Spider-Man 4. We'll also be talking about some older leaks and how things are going to play into Secret Wars, which could hint towards the direction the MCU's going. Obviously, this stuff's all still in early development, but these could provide the general outline for where things are going to go. If you enjoy the video, then please hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns like this every week. With out of the way, huge thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into our Spider-Man breakdown. Okay, so No Way Home ended with a big teaser that had Tom Hardy's Venom being in the MCU. Though he was sent home, he left a trace of Venom behind, which means that the symbiote's now out in this universe. Although this might seem like it's going to be a major part of the next film, from what I've heard, they're keeping Venom out for a while. Though this will be tied in, it won't be in a major way, with them setting up the black suit to then appear in Secret Wars. This, of course, is what happened in the comics, with the 80s event being where Peter first got it at. At the time, they hadn't created Venom yet, and it was more just seen as a suit that carried special abilities. From what I've been told, that's the way it'll be initially played, with us getting minor hints of something being off, but nothing too conclusive. In the past, in things like the Tobey Maguire movies, it's been introduced and then became Venom straight away. Here though, from what I've been told, the Venom arc's being saved up until Secret Wars. With this new start, it will sort of go through a suit trilogy almost, but it'll be spread across Spider-Man 4, Secret Wars, and then the movie that follows it. Now, I don't know how stuff's going to get brought into Spider-Man 4, and honestly, I feel like this suit might just be in a post-credit scene. Maybe they do something where they have the villains beating Peter, and then he gets the black suit and finally takes them out. At this point though, Peter's without all his stock tech, and the upcoming film will have him being very bare bones. The AI that used to be in the suit's now gone, and though down the line a Venom voice could replace it, they want to keep things low key. Now that someone includes the villains too, and my sources backed up a claim by My Time to Shine. They've said that Michael Mando will be in the film as well, with us finally getting closure on that homecoming teaser. On top of this, Daniel RPK said Michael Keaton's in the film, and that Marvel Studios is ignoring the Morbius post-credits scene. Also, every time I say Morbius, I have to double check it, right? Because I've been saying Mobius for the past 7 weeks, and it's just a stupid name. Now, nevertheless, though, it's quite a wild thing to have happen, and I imagine that Keaton and Mando will interact at some point. Sorry if you're a big Morbius fan there as well. It's not a stupid name. I don't know why I said that. I quite like the guy. But either way, when we last saw Michael Keaton and Michael Mando, both were in prison, so I think this will be how the characters are both used. Potentially Keaton might even know Peter Parker exists, and this is because he was off in the Morbius timeline. Who knows, maybe man gets pulled back, and then he can explain how he managed to get Chitauri tech in an alternate universe. Now on top of this, we also had Josh from Den of Nerds earlier in the year talking about how he heard Tobey Maguire was going to play a part in the film. This has since been backed up by a number of different scoopers over the weekend, with Daniel RPK saying this film will be something that merges Sony's Spider-Verse with Tom Holland's version. So potentially that's how they get Michael Keaton into it, and Morbius brings an intriguing element into it as well. This could set up things with Venom, and hey, I might be wrong with the black suit not being in it. It's just what I heard, mate. Now Venom 3 will drop in 2024, and that could tie into it and also allow the other side characters to be brought across from other projects like Madame Web and other stuff. At the moment, because of the spell, Peter's on his own, so it makes sense to have new characters come from other places instead of leaning on him being by himself for the entire film. Now, another thing in the multiverse is how it all plays into Loki, but the timeline for that show kind of explains it. The events of Season 2 actually happen before No Way Home, with only the scenes after Loki ascends then happening after. So basically, Loki sat on the throne and then helped hold the multiverse together, and this is how the events of No Way Home then played out. That somewhat ruptured everything, but the multiverse also will apparently be absent from the main plot of the film. Still though, they're going to have to tie into Secret Wars, so I kind of imagine there'll be some way that this is brought into the end. The next Spider-Man film will release before the next Avengers, and it's important to have at least some things set up. Now, on top of this, there's been several rumors coming from other sources in the Scoop game that have all talked about how Peter Parker's the chosen one. I did try and search who posted this rumor first, but unfortunately, I couldn't find who broke the initial news. If you know though, then please drop it below, and I'll see it put up as the pinned comment. Either way, this makes a lot of sense, and it's something that's also been happening in the comics. And in case you don't know, Kevin Feige's currently overseeing Marvel Comics too, and there's theories he's setting things up for the future of the MCU. This is why so many of us think Loki's Avengers Prime, because it's something that also happened in the comics. Now, Peter being the chosen one appears in that as well, with him being referred to it in End of the Spider-Verse. In the end, it was revealed to be actually Cindy Moon, who you might also know as being Silk. Still though, she's not been introduced in the MCU, and they might bring her in, but I've not heard any rumblings yet. Now what it basically means though is that the 616 Peter is sort of the prototype Peter that all of the other ones spun out from. However, he also has a greater role in the greater cosmic universe, and that's sort of why No Way Home went the way it did. Now that sort of takes us into Secret Wars, which is also what his role will be there too. Peter will be seen as the chosen one of that, with the rest of the cast being made up of many faces from across a number of different franchises. All the breadcrumbs they're laying with the X-Men will pay off there massively too, with us also getting the older Spider-Man actors returning as well. Contracts are obviously still getting worked out, but we reported this last year, as well as the idea that this is going to provide a soft reboot for things going forward. Again, this has since been backed up by a number of different sources, and from what I've been told, that's what's currently going on behind the scenes. Marvel have realized they have way too many characters already, and the introduction of the X-Men is going to add way more to that. So what Feige's planning on doing is scaling things back, and once more having a more centralized universe. I think looking back at the early phases especially, they worked because there wasn't much going on. You had Iron Man, and then he popped up in the Incredible Hulk, with Iron Man 2 then setting up Thor. Thor then set up the Tesseract before we hit Captain America, and that of course then led into the Avengers. Now though, you've got about 2 post-credit scenes in the movie, all setting up different things years down the line. Shang-Chi's got 2 that could really go anywhere, and then you got Harry Styles in the Eternals and stuff like Guardians 3 as well. You also got Clear in Doctor Strange, and none of this seems to really be that linked. So the plan is to kind of scale things all back and have more centralized stories for the main universe. On the offshoot stuff, we'll get more experimental things, which is mainly what Marvel Spotlight's been invented for. I still don't know how Sony's going to play with this either, but there's also plans to make a live-action Miles Morales film. I think he'll probably be brought across soon and might even come in the main universe at some point in the future. Still though, we're very early days, and we're going to see how things all shake out. I know though that the Marvel's box office will have them scared, as well as the declining viewership in the Disney Plus shows. Loki had some big numbers in the end, but Secret Invasion fell off, and it kinda shows the whole state of interest. So the plan is to scale things back and look at what works and what doesn't, and I imagine that we'll be getting less Disney Plus stuff too. So far, it seems like they're reshooting a lot of things, with Daredevil being one that's going from the ground up. Captain America is also getting reshoots too, which are currently going to go over 4 months. You could probably film an entire movie in that time, and it kind of shows the amount of work that they have on their hands. Anyway, in conclusion, the main plan is to have Spider-Man 4 once more tackling the multiverse, and it'll sort of be a rebuilding of the character with his origin story happening in those first 3 home films. Kind of feel like the spell will get reversed too, and that'll go to Strange and tell him all about it. Might actually go to Ned with him being a wizard, but it will finally bring the world back up to speed as it falls apart in the initial stages of Secret Wars. Still though, there's lots of things to look forward to, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please drop a like on the video, and if you want to support the channel as a member of the Spoiler Society, then please click the join button. You'll get early access to videos every week, and it goes such a long way to helping us out. If you want to get some heavy spoilers merch, we've also got our t-shirt line located below the video that will let you pick up all kinds of tops like our Theory Time one, House of Dragon stuff, Loki, and a lot more. We drop new designs on there all the time too, so definitely keep an eye out, and huge thank you if you bought one. Now if you want something else to watch, we've got a video on screen right now, so definitely head over there right after this. But out of the way, huge thank you for sticking through the video. I've been your host Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.